I've been growing my food for the last 3 years, but there's something that's been on my mind for the whole time. A phenomenon of this mystical creature, this garden gnome almost. Sometimes this gnome just pops up in your garden out of nowhere. And today I discovered him going by the name of Hugh Richards amongst the parsnips. Do you just pop up in people's gardens or something?
That's my job.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Mystical creature.
Well, I've never been called that. I've been called a lot of things in life, but I think it's like upper echelon of compliments.
Wow, I mean, I feel like you're in most people's gardens just virtually through YouTube and everything that you do.
Thank you.
And you've had such an impact on me and my growing life now. My growing life, does that sound right?
Growing life, absolutely.
My gardening life. I felt like you've been here anyway, but it's finally great to have you here.
Thank you.
And today you're going to rate my garden.
I'm going to rate your garden. I'll start off with good points. With one thing.
Be nice though, because I am going to cook for you at the end if you are nice.
You are. And I'm going to rate your food as well.
Amazing.
Can you open a pizza restaurant, please?
I think I feel. All right, so where should we start?
Well, we've got to look at the whole thing. You've got to pull back a minute and look at it. And to me, this feels like a very beautiful, friendly, uplifting, not too fussy, natural, realistic kitchen garden. So that is totally my vibe. So I am slightly biased, but you got some flowers, so I'm happy with that.
How could I improve it? I know you've mentioned a few times about having creating some kind of wall.
Yeah. Well, what I'd say is think about how you can. You are doing it a bit with sunflowers, and you got the runner beans, but maybe think a little bit more about height and the differences of height. So yes, you could improve it by adding a wall. I wouldn't say it would improve it. I really like this natural hedge, and so that's really improving the biodiversity, which is going to help contribute to fewer pest issues here. And then what I like to do with raised beds is I almost treat each raised bed like its own independent garden. That's smart. I will just think about this raised bed, and there's a little bit of space here. I like that you've got some perennials in around, so you've got some chives there. But usually what I like to do, especially with raised beds with sides, it's really easy to attach trellises to. So you can attach a trellis at the back, and you could have a load of sugar snap peas here, for example. And then what you can do is around the outsides, apart from this front side because it's south facing, but around the outside and the ends, that's where you've got the taller things. Right. And it's kind of drawing you into the centre of the garden. Also, the other nice thing about this is you've got a bit, but you've also got this kind of space to play with. So just how this chamomile is going over and really softening the edges, you could get quite clever with that using all sorts of different things. Maybe some tumbling tom tomatoes would be nice, or you can get maybe creeping thyme, or you're already doing nasturtiums, but
cascading down.
And then it kind of works in and around. But how do you do your garden plan? How do you start your spring?
It's really intuitively, and this year I said, right, this year I'm gonna I have a plan, and I'm going to put things in certain spots, but I just put stuff wherever there's a free space now, and it's a bit of a jumble, but I think intuitively I would describe that.
So one thing I would maybe suggest is to try and split it in half. So half of your garden you just keep intuitive, but then the other half is dedicated for production, because you offhandedly earlier mentioned, maybe I need to do a whole bed of onions. And maybe those are your staples, so the crops that you can't live without, chard. So I've never met anyone such a fan of chard.
Chard is
good.
Amazing. It's really underrated, really is. Today I'm going to make you a dish that I've never made before, but it's using one of my favourite ingredients, beetroot. I think you guys are going to find this one very peculiar. All right, come on, chickens.
Go on.
That's how you do it. Look at that. No way.
Come on. You're good.
That's how you do it. Oh, there's one left behind. They're quite calm in your arms.
Whee, there you go.
All right, Q, so you actually inspired me to get one of these polytunnels, and but I remember coming to yours and it was so neat and tidy. I like that it's a bit of a jungle, but give me some pointers in here.
Well, first thing, these tomatoes are massive ones on there. What you can do, what we've done is we've screwed in screws, and then we've got high tensile wire running along and then we take strings from that for each tomato. Because like the spacings are fine. Like I usually go for around 60 centimeters just to reduce blight issues. But then you have like that one bit of wire that you then train up, because then otherwise you're trying to do this and then it might collapse, and then you've got to try and rescue them.
All right, that's a good idea. So get some wire going across there.
Yeah, that'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is you can actually dig up some of your chard plants towards the end of autumn and transplant them out in here.
Yeah.
And then they're going to grow and produce a lot more than they would outside, so you can utilise the space.
Well, that was one of my questions to you, is what can I grow in here under cover during the winter that does brilliantly?
Yeah, so you've got like all of your winter lettuce, you've got different types of spinach, chard goes well, pak choy as well, I found is overwintered. You got all of your like mustard, oriental greens, mitsuna, mabuna. You can, coriander overwinters amazingly in a polytunnel. So it's it's going to like completely change how much you can be producing.
That's
over
incredible.
winter.
And the one thing that I wanted to ask you is, if people don't have the luxury of undercover space like this, I didn't have it until this year.
Yes.
What can I do to my raised bed to turn that into some sort of undercover growing space? Oh yeah.
You can make like a hoop bed, so it's like a hoop tunnel.
Have you got a tutorial for that?
Yes. There's
All right, what I'm going to do then is I'll get building one of them.
Yeah.
So to make your very own greenhouse inspired by Hugh Richards, first thing you're going to need to do is measure out some batten 2x1 to be exact, to the size of your raised bed. Luckily, I've got the assistance of my dad because he is a DIY expert. After measuring out your timber, screw it together to form a rectangle shape, but this should be the exact same size as your raised bed. Then we're going to need to create a beam to go down the middle that our hoops will sit on. So screw in 2 uprights at either end of the rectangle, then run a piece of timber across the top and screw that in. The next job is to get some water pipe and measure out some hoops that will run over the top of your crossbeam. I'm using 4 hoops, then we drill some holes running along each side of the rectangle that the pipe will slot into. Then screw the pipe into place. Once you've attached the hoops, the frame is complete and you're ready to wrap it in some polythene. We secured it with some little nails and poured it as tight as possible. That's the hoop house done, and it can sit on top of your raised beds, keeping your produce thriving. You can also add hinges if you like, and this makes it convenient to open and close. All right, so back to this present day.
Yeah.
Any tips here? So it's a bit of a jumble. I didn't think things would grow so big. I've got my cucumbers, which I'm so proud of. I've got aubergine, which I am overjoyed about. I'm going to harvest my first aubergine on Friday, actually, because I'm going to make a beautiful recipe with it.
Good.
And I've got watermelon behind it,
Yeah.
which isn't doing so good. So
How often do you water?
Well, I put some underground tubing which releases water, but does it need a bit of water? Does it?
I don't know. I feel like maybe, especially like this time of year, in like kind of summer moving into autumn, if you just did have like maybe like a seaweed liquid feed,
yes,
and you diluted that and applied it to all the plants maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, it will just give that like final last hurrah boost,
right?
For all of these to produce, because at the end of the day you're wanting to grow food to be able to eat. And so like I'm not precious about just using compost and only compost, because compost is expensive.
Yeah.
So using something like a liquid feed is a really low cost way of adding a lot of diverse supplement to making sure that you can get as much as possible before winter hits.
Giving them that boost. Well, I feel quite happy with that.
Good.
Let's go to the terrace.
Yeah, I love this part of the garden as well.
Yeah, this is an accident actually. All of the mud that I dug out from building this, I just spread across here. Me and Tom did it actually, and then then I just formed this sort of DIY raised bed.
One of the things that you can get into that I like to do is like every month I'll just sow a bunch of things that I use as gap pluggers. So as soon as because here we've got some space in between the cabbages, so I always have seedlings where I can just quickly poke it in. You know, you might want to have things like beetroot or something, because one of the best things that you can do for your soil health is to have living roots in the soil and to have plants growing in it. So yeah, just having all of your seed packets close by. Like here, I could do a row down the middle, and I could, you know, grow a load of maybe like tatsoi that you can use the little leaves for over autumn. So, yeah.
Let me show you my compost corner.
Oh, I like it. It even says compost corner, just in case you weren't quite sure what this corner was for.
Sometimes I'll put a chicken in here.
Yeah, let them have a scratch about.
And they love it, they don't want to leave. Yeah, it's really fascinating to watch and to realise that your waste and your scraps and all the garden waste can be turned into the soil that you grow your food in next year. And that's
full cycle.
That's what I've really enjoyed about
That's the other thing, like a lot of people struggle with, they have too many courgettes and they don't know what to deal with it. There's no shame in putting a courgette, like the old courgette, on a compost bin to break down, because that courgette's going to be next year's tomatoes.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. It's all just nutrition in different forms.
Okay, so nothing to worry about then.
No.
Hugh, I've got to make some food for you now.
Right.
Have you ever heard or tried a pizza before?
What, the party island?
Yes, it's a dish inspired by the party in Ibiza.
Okay.
No, actually, this is a pizza made with beets.
All right.
So it's called a pizza. I've got pink dough and everything. I had to use up my beetroot somehow.
Inspired.
Yeah, you're going to be in Barbie world after this.
Dear. Oh no, help.
I'm on a slope, guys, all right?
Yeah, we know.
All right, so we are making pizza, which means we need some beetroot dough. Look at the color on that. I made this earlier and I've got it risen. It is absolute, it's like we're in Barbie world.
Go on, sing it.
I'm not singing Barbie world. So before I roll this into some balls for our pizza, I'm gonna make a lovely beetroot sort of ketchup that's gonna top the pizza. It's gonna be our base. It's gonna be absolutely tangy and delicious and hopefully a little pink too. First up, I'm gonna chop up some of my homegrown onions, which I harvested earlier, some garlic, and I'm gonna get that sweated down in my pan with some spices too. And then we'll add our chopped beetroot. I'm adding some smoked paprika, some ground cumin, and some fennel seeds. It's nice cooking in the greenhouse, isn't it? So my onions are lovely and golden now, and the spices have roasted nicely, so I'm going to add the beetroot at this stage, and I'll just cut it into some chunks. So pop the lid on the pan and let the beetroot cook down before adding some sugar and some vinegar. And a pinch of salt. That'll bring out all the flavours, and lid back on, we'll just let that cook down slowly. Hopefully I don't have to blend this up and it sort of mashes down and creates a lovely luxurious sort of sticky sauce, beetroot sauce. In the meantime, I'm gonna ball up my pizza dough, my pink dough. I'm amazed at this. Oh, yes. Look at my pink dough. Could you put that somewhere warm? Maybe on your lap or something. So we've got my dough nearly ready. We've got the lovely beet sauce that's going on top of the dough basically done. But now I need some kind of cheesy element, but obviously I keep my cooking dairy free. So how am I gonna do that? I'm gonna make a lovely, rich, creamy sauce infused with miso paste, mustard, beer, and nutritional yeast, which has this nutty, cheesy flavor. First up, we want to get some leek and some garlic sweated down. All right, if you want to stop things having a pink tinge to it, then put a bit of greaseproof paper on your board. My leeks are basically pink now because I didn't do that. And my hands are pink. We don't mind a bit of pink, do we, guys?
Bobby!
Guys, and some sage. Forgot to add that. Plus some salt. Then we'll add the flour. It's wet and alcoholic.
Yeah, I'm keen.
You can have it. That's why I was drinking it like that. So after adding the beer, I'm adding some beautiful whole grain mustard and some miso paste, which is going to add that real umami punch that a cheese sauce should have. And now I'm going to add some lovely milk, and we're going to turn this into a proper sauce. So there we go, guys. Here's my cheesy, creamy sauce. The only thing that I'm going to add now, and this will actually make it cheesy, is the nutritional yeast, plus a little bit of white pepper. Hugh, I need you to have a little taste. Tell me what you think.
Oh. Can I just eat that?
Yeah.
It's needs maybe a little bit more acidity.
Bit of lemon juice?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to add next. All right, guys, I'm going to need some guys. All right, guys, I'm going to need a hand lighting this fire in the rain. Come with me, give me a hand.
Excuse me.
So Hugh and Sam are looking after the fire. I'm picking some runner beans and I'm going to roast these with some candy beet, the courgette that I harvested, and some more onion. Chop them up first, get them in a little bit of olive oil and seasoning into that oven, and then we'll roll out our pizzas. It's nice having some helpers sorting the fire out whilst I can just focus on the cooking. I'm also just adding the greens of the onion because they have a beautiful flavour. But I just wanted to check to see if my golden beets are ready, because they're babies, but they'll look lovely on top of the pizza. Yeah, I think I can get these on. Yeah, look at these lovely little golden beets. Babies. I'm going to get some of these herbs on first, some lovely marjoram, which includes the flowers. All right, let's get it in the oven. All right, now we wait for these to cook and then we can build our pizzas. All right, let's check on this veg. Oh yes, just cooked down. It's going to be the perfect topping. Let's go build some pizzas, guys. Some pizzas! Sam, can you pass me my Barbie dough? Let's have a look at this. Oh, yes. Look at them. All right, let's just make a pizza then. Oh, it's lovely dough. I just love fluffy dough. A lovely sticky beet sauce. We get our lovely beet, chunky, sticky, beety, saucy stuff on top.
Very descriptive.
Yeah. All right, so we get some of this lovely veg on too. Just picked, just roasted. And then our cheese sauce, a few dollops of this.
Yes, please.
This should actually caramelize, a few dollops. Bit of oil on top. A bit of garlic powder, and then a bit of nasturtium salt that I made.
Oh, nice.
Right, let's make the run to the oven in the rain, but we need to get this cooking. Oi. Can you imagine I fell? Yes, she came off. Now we wait, guys, for our Barbie pizza. I love watching pizzas cook. Let's give this a spin. Oh, look at that though. It's holding on to its pinkness. Right, Hugh, I think the pizza's nearly done. Do you mind grabbing me some of the lovely pink flowers for me?
Yeah.
That'll be a lovely garnish. It's coming out.
Still pink.
Yeah, it's still pink and it's nice and crispy.
Wow.
Let's take it up and give it a taste. So just garnishing with a few of those pink marjoram flowers and some nasturtium leaf. All right, should we give the pizza a taste?
Yes. This is definitely a first for me.
Yeah, same. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming all this way. Look at the crust.
That is.
It is
insane.
Vibrant pink. All right,
Cheers,
cheers, enjoy.
Wow. Can you open a pizza restaurant, please?
I think I feel crisp pizza.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm very, very impressed.
Thank you for teaching me how to grow food to make this possible.
Fair exchange.
It's been just over 3 years since I released my last cookbook, Plants Only Kitchen. It's been a while since I made a new cookbook, and the reason is because I've been going through some huge lifestyle changes. I've been learning a lot about myself and finding some new hobbies, such as moving to the country and learning to grow my own food. And that will sure be the topic of my next cookbook, I hope, if I'm lucky enough to get a new book deal. We'll see. But I just wanted to bring your attention back to this book, Plants Only Kitchen, because it's a book that I am still so proud of. It's not necessarily the same sort of style of cooking that I do day to day now, but it is super delicious meals. They're simple meals. That's why I made this book. So I wanted to show people that plants only cooking can be really simple too. They're also protein packed meals too, because I love my working out and I love my gym. I still do to this day, and I still do cook recipes from this book. So I just wanted to let you know that if you want to get a copy, I'm doing a discount on my website for actually signed copies. My mum is amazing. She will send them to you wherever you are in the world. And that's the best way to support the channel and everything that we do, is getting them through my website rather than, you know, other Amazons and things like that. So if you want to support, this is the best way to support. And if you do, I really, really do appreciate it. It means we can continue to make epic videos on YouTube and content on social media. And if you've already got copies of my cookbooks and you bought them from the website, thank you so much. I hope they're serving you well in the kitchens. It means the world when I see you sharing images on social media of recipes that you've made from the book. And if you want to get a copy, you really want to support the channel, then you can use code GAZ10 Plants Only Kitchen, Gaz10 Plants Only Kitchen for 10% off my website, and that's the best place to get it from to really support. And you get a signed copy, and my mum sends it to you.